wake up and smile, 'cause it's been a while. It's been like a whole day since I stopped so you could hold me. But this child awaits, strong in the faith. Lord, you are the refuge that I can't wait to get to, 'cause I can't let a day go, can't let a day go by without thanking you for the joy that you bring to my life. And ooh, there's something about the way your sun shines on my face.
All right, we do apologize for that technical hitch there. We are live again, and it's time for the discussion segment. Remember that my resource person is already seated. I will be looking into that particular story. Remember that exactly a week ago we started off with the episode of the growing and disturbing trends on migration, where there was an interesting revelations that were made on the show. Today we're going to continue from there, or the episode 2 or the part 2 of the growing and disturbing trend on migration. So wherever you are, you can keep sending us your thoughts and your comments. Many a times we hear of people trying to travel all the way to the Western world in search of greener pastures. That has been the underlying factor which have increased or contributed to this irregular migration that we've had over the years. And today we'll be looking into those prevalent factors. Maybe just a quick reminder, then we transcend from the causes to some effects within the African sub-region. Then we look at some of the still the repercussions, the threats, and if possible we'll look at some solutions before we wrap up on the migration story. But anyway, remember that Alimatu Isahak exactly a week ago was with us, an HR professional, and at the moment she's celebrating the Eid al-Adha. So we say Alimatu Isahak, Eid Mubarak going out to you wherever you are. We believe that before the show will end, you send us a share of whatever you are sharing with your family and your friends and colleagues as well. Let me introduce my guest. Dr. Alfred Mbinglo happens to be the Executive Director of RECFAM. So RECFAM in this situation is the Research and Counseling Foundation for African Migrants. He's looking all dapper this morning. So let me use the opportunity to say good morning to him. Good morning, Dr. Alfred.
Good morning, Brother Nicholas.
You are really looking very great this morning.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
I'm celebrating with the Muslims.
So. Oh, okay. You are celebrating with the Muslims.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what? I don't know if I don't know how you take the Eid Mubarak. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you have Muslim friends that would like to wish them some Eid Mubarak this morning.
Yes, Barakah Salah to all of them.
Barakah Salah.
Yes, I have my family, part of them are Muslims and so on. So we've coexisted with no problem.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Even at one point in time, I thought you were Muslims.
Oh, really?
I think it is the effort that actually made me change my mind. Trust me. All right. So, how was the weekend? How is life, work, and everything?
Well,
the family?
We thank God. God has given us another opportunity to see this day. It's a miracle, and
it's a miracle.
Yes, and I'm happy for it. So,
Okay.
The week has been great. It's seeing us through, and this opportunity, seeing you again today.
Very well.
Yeah.
Very well. It's a very good day to me personally, because today happens to be a very special day in my life, as God has added 1 year to my age.
Hey.
Yeah. So after the show,
happy birthday.
Yeah. Thank you so much. All right. So let's talk about. We are talking about irregular migration. Exactly a week ago, we had a very fantastic, discussion or discourse here. It was very important. So if you just tune in, we are talking about illegal or irregular migration. Dr. Alfred doesn't want us to even target illegal because he believes that every living person at one point in time, you opted for illegal.
Yes.
You travel.
You
You migrated from one end to another.
Yes.
All right. So
migration is as old as human being and complex as human character.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And every country in the world is affected positively or negatively by migration.
All right.
Depending on the caliber of immigrants that they found themselves in that country.
Yeah.
So migration is something we cannot do without.
Nice one. So please keep sending us your thoughts, your opinions. We'll be reading them live on the show. If you have any birthday wishes, or probably you want to wish any Muslim brother a birthday, Eid Mubarak, why not? Do send us 0543 445361. The numbers are activated on your screens. 0543 445361. Then we read the comments for you live on the show. All right. So let's start off with some of the prevalent factors that will even incite or entice people to kind of move away from where they are to, let's say, to another place, that another residing place that they feel we are going to have that comfort. And last week, I remember you shared something great, that the underlying factor has been poverty. But there was a counter-attack report from My Joy Online, which says that poverty has been, redefined as not the factor, the extreme factor that normally, would, kind of trigger someone to travel outside just in search of that greener pastures. Just to, a quick reminder.
Yes, but I think it was my, what is the lady's name again? Who said that.
Oh, okay.
And I tend to agree with the professor who did the research to say that the migrants who travel are not always poor people. Yes. But again, and I remember I said the last time that you have the pull and the push factor, and the push factor is this economy.
The push factors.
Yes, which people believe that there are better opportunities somewhere and they need to go, and look for those opportunities.
Okay,
and
even before you continue, sorry for that interjection, but let's look at the West African sub-region and Africa sub-region. Do people normally travel within these regions?
Yes, they have the ECOWAS free movement of people, which entitle all the, I think, 15 ECOWAS African states to travel within the sub-region.
Without any restrictions?
No restrictions.
But you and I know very, very well that there are restrictions as we make our way through these places.
Yes, there are restrictions. Joel, is that once you cross the political boundaries of your own country, the laws of the ECOWAS says that you have at least, I think, 3 months or so to live in that country.
Very well.
Yeah, and then after that, if you want to regularize your status, then you can go ahead. And the movement has been there. They jump into talking about free movement of goods as well. And again, if you go just to Togo, Ghana, you see that there are Ghanaians across Togo.
And then I went through 2010. My dad was in Burkina Faso. Ghana shares boundary with Burkina Faso on the north. So I traveled through the north to enter into their territory for something. I think is it Bobo Dioulasso, the second regional capital of Burkina Faso. That was where my daddy was residing. And as a matter of fact, the kind of thing I went through, the guy who was leading me to that place where my father was, he was arrested at the immigration office from these Burkinabes. And luckily for me, fortunately for me, I was having a student ID card. I told him my dad was sick and I had to bring him from that end and all that. It wasn't easy, as it is, being touted as free movement within the African sub-region. It is not so.
Yeah, it is not so. The reason why they say it's free is that doesn't mean you should get out without your passport and travel.
Okay.
No, you need to get your passport.
They asked for a particular word I've forgotten. I think maybe in the course, they said, I think it allows you free access within these Francophone African states.
Yeah, like I sasaid again, it still boils down to that. You cannot just get up because you are Ghanaian and they say free movement. And then you go to, but you every child 1 day old is entitled to a passport. It's your right. You don't need to be a student. Even a student, you're already grown up. So you're supposed to have a passport. And the passport
in Ghana?
In Ghana, and you travel. So they say the free movement is because you don't acquire a visa to go to all these places anymore. Once you have the ECOWAS passport, or let's say a Ghanaian passport, you can travel to these places. You don't need a visa. For example, if a Cameroonian is coming to Ghana, he needs a visa because it's not within the ECOWAS country. If somebody is coming maybe from South Africa or if they don't have this protocol, you need a visa. But within the sub-region, the ECOWAS movement, once you have a passport, you don't need a visa. If you travel to the country and you want to stay after 3 months, 90 days, then you need to regularize your stay. And that's when you go now to either look for a resident permit or whatever, or work permit.
Okay, I see.
Yes.
So it is obvious that people would also want to travel within their regional integration. Let's say Ghana to Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire. It do happen.
It's happened, and you go to immigration service. They have all the recorded statistics on the I could have brought you those statistics. For that is a documented one anyway. But there are people who travel like you with the ID. Those are not documented.
Are those travelings very lucrative, unlike the Western world? Usually there is this particular picture that most Africans have painted. It is so nice, it is so great when you establish yourself in the Western world as compared to that is why I asked that question. Is it possible that you have, let's say, a Ghanaian moving from Ghana to, let's say, Burkina Faso, to Cote d'Ivoire, to Kenya, to reside all in the name of greener pastures?
That is, you see, migration is based on the mindset.
Migration is based on the mindset
of the migrants or the would-be migrants. Once you have this mindset that, okay, if I get to Cote d'Ivoire, I'll make it better. Or maybe you got information or stories of people who have lived there, and you've also, if not the stories alone, you've seen that, okay, they've come, they've started building a house, they've done something, then you are informed also, and you feel like, okay, if I go, I'll also do better. But the truth is that it is not, if it is not easy in your own country, how will it be easy in someone else's country?
Yeah.
So
especially if it's within the African context.
Country. Yes, it is not. Here we have the issues of a few days ago. You have the issue at Circle with the Nigerians and Ghanaians. Yeah, yes, you see. So how possible? Of course, back they say Ghana must go. Nowadays, when there was this Biafra war or whatever, where Ghanaians were all, yeah. So you see, so every migrant, like I said, every issue of migration, every country, like I said before, is affected depending on the caliber of immigrants that are in that country. So if you have the well-sound, economic, intelligent, smart, who comes to Ghana, they will make Ghana better. If you have Ghanaians who are also smart, intelligent, and good, who goes anywhere else, they'll make that country better because they'll contribute to the economic growth of that country and to the development of that country. So it all depends on the caliber. But the challenging aspect is the undocumented ones. Yes, that's the irregular ones. Who just get up and say, okay, I think I'm tired of my community. I get to Accra.
My community isn't better enough.
Yes.
I have to explore.
Yes.
And as they do that.
Yes. And within Ghana, you have the rural-urban migration.
Very well.
Rural-urban migration lead to cross-country migration. So it's all the trends.
It starts from that basic level.
Yes, it's there.
So rural-urban, then you move to
crossing the political boundary. So it's all there. So
okay.
And even if you were born in Accra here, and you're born in, for example, in Joko or in Awoshi or one of the suburbs, and you move to Medina, you've already migrated.
Wow.
Yes.
Anyway, so you are not, you seriously speaking, you don't agree with those who say that poverty is as a result of these
I don't agree.
Irregular migration.
Yes, because the migrants themselves are not poor.
The migrants themselves?
No, they are not poor. If you're able to have money to buy a ticket, you're able to have money to pay your transport
most of them
to another country.
Resolve to, very few of them.
Yeah.
But most of them use the illegal way.
But they pay.
They pay?
Yes.
Huge sums of money.
Yeah, if you get to just to a flower here to cross, there is a back door you can cross. You pay. I think a friend of mine said he paid 3,000.
3,000 Ghana cedis?
No, CFA. No,
CFA.
Cedis. I mean CFA, right? Togo.
Okay.
Yes, to cross. So the motorbike take, tip the immigration here and there, and it cross. Wow. So if you didn't have 3,000, let's say 8 cedis multiplied by 3,000 is how much? It's 24. Is it 24 cedis?
Yeah.
24 cedis. It's good for a meal for a day.
Maybe it's not enough for whoever is making that travel or making that particular move.
Yeah, for you and I, it's not enough.
Yeah.
But for them,
it is enough.
Yes.
All right. Very interesting, revelations on the show. Remember, let me give you some 3 African countries that are noted for, irregular migration. Okay, so according to the United States of America, as a matter of fact, they will make sure that they stop these 3 countries from, crossing over to their, country or to their nation. So according to the report, Eritrea Guinea, and Sierra Leone. These are the 3 African countries that, according to the United States of America immigration report, indicates that these 3 countries will be prevented from giving visas. They'll be prevented from any visa issuance that will allow them to move from their countries to the United States of America. And there is also another report that indicates that Africa faces tougher visa policy over illegal migration. I don't know your quick thought on that one. Africa faces tougher visa policy over illegal migration.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
What has contributed to that?
I think also because of the Western country, they've put so much restrictions into this whole thing of acquiring a visa. And trust me, I said the last time,
challenges people
yes,
go through just to get a visa to travel outside.
You see, it's amusing because it's amusing because you find, example, an American who is using a credit card, go for maybe have a $500 or whatever on his credit card, is given a visa to come to Ghana, for example. He's roaming on the street of Accra with $500 in his pocket and in his credit card. But the Ghanaians who has maybe 50,000, 100,000, or enough just to go for 1 week or 2 weeks and return. It's not like he's having interest to go and stay. He's refused a visa. You wonder why. I don't understand. So I said that, if for example,
maybe our government is not doing enough.
No,
the government measures.
Yes, they should be able to put some measures together, because I said that if, for example, people have the opportunity, like these 3 countries you've mentioned, or even some of us who have the opportunity to travel, if the visa is so flexible that once you get the visa and you travel, whether to Europe or to America, and you realize that the place is not good for you enough, you can come back. When you settle, you know that you've acquired some knowledge about the place. Then you can apply again, and they give it to you, and you go back. They will have no problem of these immigration challenges.
But I think the government needs to do more when it comes to, monitoring these operations of these, kind of.
How would they do more when they go for loan from them? I mean, you go for loan for somebody to come and develop your country.
Their hands are tied.
Of course. You have no choice.
You have no choice.
What do you have? You go there for money.
You have to do something about it.
They give you loans. Sometimes they loan between grants or whatever, and you come to develop your country.
Don't you think the recent posture, the precedents that have happened over the years, have also contributed to these tougher visas that is issuance to African countries?
I think I agree. It is true, but I still will stand that if the embassies wanted to, or the countries wanted to manage migration issues, they should be flexible enough with visa issues.
Recently, there was an issue with, I think, Canada embassy in Ghana. Seriously, there were issues that they've denied close to about more Ghanaians when it comes to the issuance of the visa.
It's not just Canada embassy. Have you visited the embassies in the morning? There's serious church services going there. Serious prayers going on.
Wow.
Go to the American embassy. Go to the Canadian embassy. Go to the German. They are all queue waiting. Prayers. Some people collapse when they are refused visas.
They collapse?
Right there, they collapse. Some come out crying. And you wonder. You have this beautiful,
it's very hateful,
beautiful,
and very peaceful
country.
If you look at the huge sums that are normally invested,
that is
to acquire these visas.
Now you agree with me when the man said the migrants are not poor.
I think it comes back to what you attested to that. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, the conversation is getting very interesting. Anyway, if you just join us, we are still talking about the growing and disturbing trends on migration, the episode 2 or the part 2 of it. Exactly a week ago, we looked into those particular story, and today we're looking at the repercussions, the threats, and the dangers that are often presented when these irregular or illegal migrants make their way to these countries in search of greener pastures. It is not easy, trust me. The difficulties that they go through, the inhumane conditions that they are left bare, right, and smiling. They don't smile to their face. I mean, they are glare at their face. It is something that we need to talk about. Yeah. Now let's come back to the main substantive topic: the repercussions, the dangers, the effects that it has on these persons who normally partake these very dangerous moves?
The effects on the migrant himself,
on the migrant
himself, the country, the country itself.
So it is not only the migrant who goes through that particular ordeal.
No. The country is losing manpower. The country is losing people who are smart, intelligent to develop the country. The country is losing educated people. The country is losing all the human resources.
But we can't blame them.
No, I agree, we can't blame them. Like I said, first I always say migration is a good thing. You can travel, you have the right. It is a good thing. The effect on you, once, for example, if you find yourself in UK and you are into these challenges, the effects, they also have the effect because you tap into their social system, especially when you are irregular.
There is pressure on social amenities.
Yes, and so you don't have a place to stay. They have to accommodate you. They have to feed you. They have to cooperate with the High Commission in the UK to make sure that you are, either some of them will reject that they are not Ghanaian. They'll look for, one of the war country and say that, oh, I'm coming from Somalia, I'm coming from this country, just to stay. So the effects go with the receiving country, the country of origin, the migrants, and the family themselves.
Nice. Let's analyze the repercussions on the part of the migrants. I think let's educate our viewers on this one.
Yeah.
The effect on the migrants, then we come to the country, then the family on its own. Let's start from that discussion.
You see, when you first of all, the effect is that how do I start from?
Okay.
You've lost your freedom.
It is said, it is reported so.
Yeah, you lose your freedom.
You lose your freedom.
Exactly. Here I can talk with you, I can laugh, I can go to Kwesi, I can go to Kojo, I can go. I lose that freedom. Once I'm out there, call somebody in American who is your friend and say, oh, let's say Nicholas is my friend. Nico, I want to come and visit you. Like, oh, okay, let me check my diary and see when I'll have time to slot to meet you as a friend.
A quick add up to what you just said. When I remember when I traveled to 2010, when I traveled to Burkina Faso to bring my dad back from where he was and all that, I remember when I got there, I was struggling with their food. Their food was something that I could not even take for a minute. So I was only surviving on tea, Lipton. They call it a Lipton.
Yeah.
That was the only, and coffee. That was the only thing I was surviving on. And when I came back, oh my goodness, I was down. I grew very lean and I looked very pale. That was what, someone saw me coming from that end and they were like, Nick, are you the one? You look very pale. So it takes away your freedom. I think I side with you on this one.
And then secondly, it takes away your social powers.
It takes away your social powers.
Yes. You cannot be integrated in the country when it's not yours. The language barriers, like you just mentioned, the food, the way they operate, everything's about them. It's not the same anymore. You have to change completely and adapt to their style. And adoption and changing is not a one-day job. It's not. You see, if you look, for example, if you've traveled out before, let's say you landed in Heathrow or in JFK or wherever, you see, you could identify Johnny just come, who have just arrived. Their movement and all of that. Vice versa. When those who have even lived there, once they arrive at Kotoka International Airport, you see the difference. Completely. You could see like there's some kind of some air. I don't know how to explain
what kind of air is that?
Yeah, I don't know. There was a story published on the Daily Graphic about a Ghanaian girl who has been in Kuwait for I forget whether 2 or 3 years. She has been maltreated, she has been subjugated, and all maltreatment you can mention it. And then she sat on the flight. She was with this journalist, I think it was Daily Graphic. And they sat on the same flight, on the same seat, like not the same seat.
And she reported all the deals she went through.
She said the girl sat on the flight. She never talked. They flew all through to Addis Ababa. This girl quiet as if nothing
has happened.
She sat quietly until when they landed at Kotoka, she smiled and said, Alhamdulillah, or whatever he said in Muslim language. And he turned to the lady and said, what is wrong? The lady shed tears on the flight but the tears was the tears of joy. So the journalist went further to investigate, and then she narrated her ordeal.
She went through.
She went through.
Very sad one.
Yes, and it was a story published on the Daily Graphic. So the effect on the migrant, one, this is not psychologically, you can't talk about it. Honestly, you don't have a home of your own. You are going to adopt the style of living of the people. You need to live as how they are. I mean, emotionally, you know.
Moving away from your family.
Yes.
Okay, as they say it in the local dialect, I don't know if you can help me with that in the translation. But anyway, so there are a lot of, I mean, understand the point where you're coming from. Psychologically, the migrant is affected.
Yes.
And it takes away everything from that person.
Yeah.
Wow.
You need to start your life again. It's like
all over.
It's like a child who's learning to talk and learning to walk and learn to talk.
Okay.
Because here, when it's zebra crossing, we just have to watch left and right.
If there is no one
coming, because if somebody hit you, you say you are obeying fool or whatever. You want me to kill you or something.
All right. I have some messages here. Let me read them. Then we continue with our discussion. If you just join us, this is the Eid Mubarak edition of the Early Today Morning Show. Today we are doing a social story, and we are talking about irregular, migration or illegal migration happening in the world today. And the topic is growing and disturbing trends on migration, part 2, the episode 2. All right, so it goes on to say that, hello, good morning. My name is Obain. I'm really enjoying your show. I think you are sharing some interesting facts with us this morning. Bless you. Okay, Obain, thank you so much for bringing us that message. This one says that, hi, great show, keep up the good work. Okay, you forgot to actually add your name to this all important program and all that. Anyway, so I'll be reading more of that pretty shortly. So let's move away from the effect, the repercussion it has on the migrant in question, the victim. Now let's look at on the country. You said something about we lose manpower.
Yeah.
Because all the strong, the youthful exuberancy in the youth,
they are leaving.
These are the people that are living out of our country.
The doctors, I mean, the government invests so much money to some of them, like the nurses, the doctors.
So if you go to the formal sectors,
of course, they leave.
I was even thinking it's normally the uneducated.
No. Who told you that the most people who are even going there are educated ones? Except those who are going to the Gulf countries, who have been also, by these recruitment agencies. When you go out, publications is everywhere. We have job here, we have job in Saudi, we have this, and all of that. Let me just go back again to the effects of migrants. Okay. I give you one example. We do reintegration. Some of them. Okay. Right? Okay. And it will surprise you to know we have a case we did with IOM, for example. We trace the family of
the International Organization for Migration.
Yeah.
IOM.
Yes, I do most of their project for them in terms of family tracing, and reintegration. So we trace the family. You have
to invite me officially.
Yes, we trace we trace the family to Kumasi. Okay. We located the family of this migrant who is in Belgium. Okay.
Really?
He's in Belgium. He's already, like they call it psychological. No, is it stress?
Trauma.
No.
Trauma.
Yes,
Trauma.
or whatever, or stress, whatever. So meaning he's mentally not normal anymore. Sound right? So we locate the family. Everything was okay. And normally you did family evaluation, find out if they're ready to receive and all. That was done. Everything was okay. The family was ready, the sister and everybody. But one of the sister, after we submitted the report, they contacted him. He was ready to come home. One of the sister who is in London called IOM and said, the brother is not coming back to Ghana in that state. Because Belgium has made his brother mad, and so therefore Belgium is responsible for his and so therefore he's not coming back to Ghana.
Interesting.
So you could see,
yeah.
So this is somebody, the family here say, okay, bring our brothers home. The sister who is also out there say, no, it is the country that has made the brother mad. Was it the country that asked the brother to come to Belgium? Was it Belgium government that invited the brother? No. So this is it. So, and we have cases upon cases. Some of them are mentally off completely. They can't even locate where they are coming from. We've been tracing and one case from, he say he's from Awoshi here. We've gone there. He attended St. Nicholas School. We've gone to the Ghana Education Service. The name of the school does not exist anyway, and so on. But of course, some of them could be really true. But the truth of the matter is also that some of them may not want to come back home because they don't want to be seen as failures.
Oh.
So because the family has invested so much money on you to travel, and then you're coming back with your 10 fingers.
I remember my uncle traveled to, is it UK? Yeah, UK some time back. And when I learned that when he traveled, he was complaining of the severe weather conditions there. It was very harsh on him, and he was like, he wanted to return. He said, hey, you want to return upon the huge sums of money we have invested in you.
Exactly. Exactly.
So he opted for, to stay.
So that pressure from the family is also there. So they wouldn't want to come back to the family and within the community too. Because you have the community, oh, you went to Europe, what did you brought? You know us already.
Yeah.
They'll make a mockery out of
the
you.
Society.
Yes.
The shame.
The shame. And so because of that, they decide, for me to come, I won't come home.
Then they become, junkies.
Yes, and they tell lies. I went to UK, went to the prison to talk to those who are there. We have negotiated together. We were working with IOM.
Okay.
And we are talking to them, please, the freedom back home. You can start life afresh. Come back home. Let's together, let's build Ghana. Let's look at something.
I believe there has to be a serious orientation for this.
But it will interest you to note. Even I did that in UK, Germany, and Switzerland. It will interest you to note that those in detention camp, they even said, I am in detention camp. Some are in prison. I'm not going to come home. The reason I'm not coming home is because, one, my family does not know I'm in prison. They know I'm in school. So I am in school, so I'm studying. So for that matter, they are not asking me for anything to send any Nokofio back home. So